Now, your news on the go.
We start your news on the go in Ontario County, where the district attorney is sharing new details regarding the death of a transgender Minnesota man who was allegedly tortured and beaten by 5 people. Right before the end of the weekend, the DA said there was no indication that the death of Sam Nordquist was a hate crime. It comes as Governor Kathy Hochul directed state police to assist the DA with finding out whether the 24-year-old's death was a hate crime. Continuing with crime, state police sharing that 31-year-old Zachary Chilson is now waking up behind bars for shooting and killing 32-year-old Jacob Walsh outside of the Tops on Main Street in Mexico Saturday morning. The 2 men got into a fight in the parking lot. Chilson pulled out a gun and shot Walsh, who died at the scene. Switching supermarkets, if you can make it past the point of sticker shock, you might notice Wegmans has new signs in the dairy section. Cartons of eggs will now be limited to 10 per customer. The move coming on the heels of multiple other supermarkets also putting a cap on how many egg cartons you can check out. Moving over to Madison County, overnight we've learned that multiple cows and calves were lost in a barn fire. Just after 2 yesterday morning, crews raced to the farm on Water Street in the town of Madison. No people were hurt, but the barn that held the cattle was a total loss. And sadly, that's not the only dairy farm left devastated over the weekend. Heavy snow in Herkimer County turning deadly at another dairy farm. Overnight, we've learned multiple cows were killed after the roof of a barn collapsed. Insight Dairy Farm, just south of Little Falls, posting to Facebook overnight, saying they were unable to save all of their animals. The weather isn't the only factor making Central New Yorkers wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. It was a rough weekend for Syracuse sports. Just a day after the men's squad got toppled by the Tar Heels, the women coming up short against Cal. The Bears clawing past Q 75-69. The Orange will now head back home to host North Carolina this Thursday. Turning onto the racetrack, weather delaying that Daytona 500 this past weekend, but after 2 pauses for the forecast and a couple of huge wrecks, William Byron was able to speed out in front and pull off a repeat victory. Byron taking back-to-back wins in the Daytona 500. From the racetrack to the roads, if you're heading out the door to work this morning, putting the pedal to the metal is the last thing you'll want to do. Snow, ice, and high winds contributing to rough road conditions all across the region.